They evaluate the pain,
exactly,
not the gain.
Exactly, yes. Exactly.
Okay, so it's a pain decision, not a gain decision.
Yes. 95% of the agentic AI projects are failing, and let's discuss only about the 5% and see how we can make them successful. And I think the reasons are because of the huge buzz, because of the trend, and because of the C-level wants to hear AI.
In this episode, Cristian Ignat, founder of Aggranda and Canopy, shares a practical view on automation from classic RPA to agentic AI. Drawing on over a decade of hands-on enterprise work across Europe and the US, he explains why AI projects fail, where companies go wrong, and how automation should actually be approached.
Our guest today is Cristian Ignat. I've met Cristian a long time ago, and how I heard about him was the fact that he was the owner of a digital company, Canopy. But because I work in HR, we didn't actually work in that direction. However, I know that he also founded Aggranda, an RPA and AI automation company. And that's how we started working with him. And it's a great pleasure to have you invited here. Welcome, Cristian, to Rewired.
Hi,
Welcome.
Very good to be here. Thank you for the invitation. And yeah, we've been knowing each other for, I think, 8 years.
Yeah, something like that.
You were one of our first customers, so thank you for the trust, because that's a challenge when you are at the beginning.
Let me start by asking you, for the people who don't really know, the two businesses that you have. Can you give us a little background around that?
So 10 years ago, I founded Canopy. It's a digital marketing agency from Romania. That's how we actually started to work with you. And I think after 3 years, I started Aggranda, because I've seen it as an opportunity. Long story short, we were the global performance marketing agency for UiPath. We won that pitch, and RPA as a term in that period of time was barely known. Almost nobody knew what RPA was 7 or almost 8 years ago. So I actually remember that when I was going to the pitch, I was repeating in my head robotic process automation to make sure that I'm not doing a mistake. That's how new it was in Romania. And we've been working with UiPath since they were like around 100, 150 people. Since they got around 3,000 people, they were too big to work with us anymore. And in that period of time, I realized that, wow, they are building something there, something really big, because they were getting those big and bigger funding. And I thought that I can build what I build with Canopy, with Aggranda, but at a global scale, because it was something very new. And with digital marketing, it's very hard from my point of view to enter new markets, because it's a mature market, so your competition is very high. So that's how I started the automation company.
And today, can you tell us more about the size of the company, and where do you actually have clients?
Yeah. So with Canopy, we have clients from Romania mostly. I think 80% is the clients are from Romania, and with Aggranda, I think it's 60% from outside of Romania and 40% from Romania. We have clients from Germany, from France, the UK, USA, Portugal, Greece. We have few clients from a lot of countries. We don't have a lot of clients, but we have usually enterprises.
So first time when you decided to do a project for a client, or to propose a project for a client as future to be Aggranda, how did it happen?
So first time. So that happened through Canopy, because the brand was there. We have and had at that point as well around 100 active clients that trusted us. So it was easier for us to go through Canopy to the existing clients and tell them that, okay, we want to do this. We work with UiPath. We understand what UiPath is doing. it sounds like it's the future. They were actually kind of creating this market together with another two players in the industry. And that's how we approached the very first clients. As I was mentioning to Marius, they were one of our first clients, and it's pretty hard to trust a company when it's at the beginning, because the risk is to fail. I mean, so that's a major challenge for startups to get the first clients, because
the trust is not there.
Yes.
So have you started and chosen a process that you realize that you can make to improve a lot, or you have said, okay, let's discover what we can do for you?
Yeah, second version. So we worked together to find together the processes, and that was the best decision that we did, because with other clients we have chose the processes. We learned a lot in these 8 years, so we did a lot of mistakes and we learned. And we actually thought that, it's like today with AI. You think that AI can solve everything. It can automate complex processes end to end, which in reality is not 100% true. You need to be very careful what processes you're going to choose. So we choose together with Marius and his team. Remember that we did some workshops together. We did some workshops in Hungary as well, to try to find these processes and choose the right ones.
So after a period of time of going through discovery, you right now, when you get through a door of a company, you kind of realize immediately what might
now
happen.
We know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now we know what
you have the recipe.
Yes, exactly. Something like a recipe. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. But it's funny because sometimes the client comes and tells you, okay, we want this process to automate, and we say, okay, it's not a good process to automate. It's not a good process because of that. And I mean, after we tell them 3 times, if they still want, it's based on their, it's their
intention.
Call. Yeah, and we tell them, okay, if you want to do that, it's not the best way to start or the best process to automate, but if you really want it, these are the risks. And usually the risks are in multiple ways. But I think one of the major one is try to automate processes that are mature and they are already in the companies. Because if they are mature, you already know all the exceptions or most of the exceptions. But some companies want to automate processes that they
do not exist.
Exactly. They found it last week. And the risk is to not capture all the exceptions. I'll give you an example. I came with a bike, and it was raining a bit, and I was trying to put it close to a tree. And while I was securing the bike, when I put the bike like this, guess what? All the tree
rained on you.
Yeah. And that's because I didn't park it close to a tree while after it was raining. It's basic, but because I didn't do that, I was running out of time, and I didn't realize that. That's with the process as well. I mean, if you have a process that's there for 1 year and people are doing like every single day, you know all these exceptions.
So you lack the experience of biking in the rain.
Yes.
Now you have it.
Yeah. Parking the bike in
the rain. Nice.
And near a tree, because if you park it like fences, or you can. So it's an exception.
It's an exception. Exactly. It's the definition of an exception.
Exactly.
So right now, based on your observations, like doing so many RPA integrations, what is the process where you find the best and the most impact that you can deliver, or the whole technology is delivering?
So there are some basic rules, I would say, and one of that is the one that I told you. It needs to be a mature process, an existing process. Another rule is that it doesn't need to be a complex process. It should be a simple process, but very, very repetitive. Usually that's a big mistake that companies are doing. They choose very complex processes. And we did this experiment a lot of times, I think, even with you guys. if you ask the people what processes you want to automate, and they have to choose between a process that takes 4 hours a day, and it's like very, very complex. If it takes 30 minutes and they do it every day and it's very complex, and another one which is very, very simple, but it takes 4 hours.
Each day.
Yes, each day. Guess
They will
what?
choose the first one.
Yeah, exactly.
The first one.
Yes. Because with the one that it takes 4 hours, they know...
They evaluate the
It's in a
pain,
comfort.
Exactly.
not the gain.
Exactly, yes. Exactly.
Okay, so it's a pain decision, not
Yes,
a gain decision.
Yes, yes. So it's very important to not always let the people choose the process. It's much better to try to guide them and explain them what RPA and AI can do and why it can fail. Because if you choose a very complex one, it's complex and it has more chances to crash something over there. Then the repetitivity is another criteria. Choose the processes that are daily or maybe weekly or let's say monthly, but don't choose processes that you do once a quarter or once a year.
Because they are not worth automating.
Also, they are not worth it, but also the chances to change something in the process are very high. I mean, the systems are being updated now a lot of times during the year. It's not that you will change, I don't know, SAP, but maybe you will change the version of the SAP and it looks different, or you will add something else in the process. But when it's a process that you are doing daily, the chances to have changes there, they are not so high, and also the impact is much higher. The number of systems that you are using, it's another criteria that we are looking. I mean, if you try to automate a process that you have a person or 10 persons that go through 10 different applications, we try to stay away from that because the chances for one application to crash, and not because of the robot or the automation, because it's not working or it makes an update, are higher. So if you have 2 or 3 systems, that's perfect.
Okay, so as complexity increases, the chances of something going wrong increase as well.
Yes.
So is there a trend right now in previous users of RPAs or actual users of RPAs to look back and try to replace RPAs with newer technologies like artificial intelligence, agents, and so on?
It's a huge trend, actually. And I'm just coming from a conference, a very large conference that UiPath held in Vegas. And everyone talks only about AI and agents, agentic AI. Everyone, I mean, literally, in San Francisco, all the billboards are about AI and agents. It's crazy. So yes, there is this trend to replace. I've been talking with some big companies from there, banks, insurance companies, and they actually said that, we don't really want to focus on RPA anymore. We want to focus on AI. And I think it's important to try to understand why is that, because from my point of view, the technology is not that mature yet. It can do a lot of things, but if you are not choosing the right processes, you're gonna have a lot of failures.
It's kind of the same type of problem that we discussed earlier.
Exactly.
But they try to address it without experience.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And Daniel Dinesh also mentioned on the stage that 95% of the agentic AI projects are failing, and let's discuss only about the 5% and see how we can make them successful. And the reason is that the technology is not yet that, but also the experience is not there yet.
The experience of the owners of the project.
Yes, exactly. Because I mean, nowadays I think AI, when you say AI, most of the people relate only to LLMs.
But it's more than that.
It's more than that, yes. It's much more than that.
the clients that are looking into the newer technologies,
Yeah.
are they looking at them because RPA cannot sort those types of issues, or they can sort them cheaper, or there is another reason that I don't see?
I think there's another reason. And I think the reasons are because of the huge buzz, because of the trend, and because of the C-level wants to hear AI. Usually that's the main reason. All the C-level wants to hear AI because everyone talks about AI. And I think what...
It's a bragging right.
Yes.
We've done AI.
Yes, exactly. And they think that everybody does AI because there's so much advertising on AI. And also I think ChatGPT and Claude and all the other platforms, what they did is that they allowed everyone in this world to test this AI, let's say. Yeah. So imagine that, I don't know, when they had something like 5 minutes or 10 minutes free time, they can enter ChatGPT, type a question, and imagine the feeling that they had 3 years ago. I mean, now it's like, it's normal, but 3 years ago, it was like, oh my God.
I'm still having this feeling, so...
To be honest, you probably find this very funny, but in the early days, I really thought that there are some people answering me. It was so, I mean, what the heck? I mean, really, it was so powerful. I mean,
it is powerful.
And I think because of that, now all the C-level, they think that it can do everything. Imagine let's say the CEO of Coca-Cola staying somewhere on a chair, reading a newspaper and turning the ChatGPT and asking some questions. Okay, so if ChatGPT can answer me those questions, it can solve a lot of problems.
And if Pepsi has implemented,
exactly,
we have a problem.
Yes,
John.
Yeah,
because we saw their strategy. Yeah,
and usually nobody talks or advertise the things that they don't do good. I mean, let's say if Coca-Cola has a project and it fails, they won't tell the world.
But it will be under the rug.
Exactly. But if they will do a project that it's a success, they will see, oh wow. So imagine,
Now, at the same time, we have a lot of examples of artificial intelligence, let's call them projects in science, in biology, even in places where you wouldn't expect, that are highly successful and generate a huge amount of result and impact. What do you think is the thing that determines that in large organizations or in organizations, we have 95% failure?
Good question. I think if you ask me, it's because of choosing the processes that are okay to automate and choosing the processes that are not okay to automate. I mean, that's from what we've seen, that's half of the time that's the reason why the projects are failing.
So what is a process where with RPA it would be a walk in the park, but with AI it would be not good to touch it?
Oh, that's a good question. So I think with RPA, all the rule-based are easy to automate, and those are a perfect fit for RPA. And with AI, I mean, with LLMs, you cannot execute. If you have only these LLMs, you cannot execute anything. You can only have RPA or direct integration with API to do the execution.
Yeah, like changing things in a system.
Exactly, or entering the data into a system.
Right now you have MCPs and you can do it over any kind of API that you have.
Yeah, but it's through the API. So, the agent is a combination between LLMs and RPA/API integration or any other integration. Yeah. But strictly on LLMs, you can just get the information from something that is or is not accurate.
So right now there are...
so interpretation is...
Interpretation.
Yes, that's the answer. Interpretation.
Nice.
You with RPA you cannot interpret.
Take decisions.
Exactly.
Take decisions that are not
yes.
simplified by rules.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
When with AI you can take decisions.
More human-like.
Yes.
So regarding what you said earlier about being able to insert data in the system or doing actions, right now there are, let's call them tries from OpenAI, for example, Augment. We got Operator, that I don't know. You tried it. It's not there yet. Yeah, but also there is another. It's another not LLM. It's a wrapper over. A lot of LLM solutions. It's called Manus that is spinning a virtual machine, and then is doing in the virtual machine. It launches the product or the project or the web interface, and is starting doing inserting, and it's really doing a
You're
good
mentioning
job.
about the agents from OpenAI.
Yeah, agents, Operator,
Yes.
not agents, but Operator. It's platform from them that allows you to
take control of the
browser, and it controls the browser.
Yes.
But it's not exactly working well. It could be
not,
better.
Yes, but I guess it's on the right track to work very well. I tested that, and I asked it to get all the bookings that I have from Booking.
Yeah.
And it stopped at some point.
Yeah, that's
but
the
after that, it worked. I mean, and what's interesting is that it find the place where it needed to enter the login information, the buttons to click it.
Yeah.
When in RPA you actually tell them, okay, press this button or press this button or enter the data here.
Oh, he found it.
Yes.
Itself.
Yeah, I didn't tell anything. I just told the
intent.
Machine, yes, the intent. Find me all the bookings on my booking.com account. And the first question was, okay, can you give me the login or you want to enter it yourself? And okay, you can enter it yourself. Open the page, you type in there. And after that, it went directly from the page to my bookings and it said, okay, you have this booking and this booking and this booking.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's
Can I ask you, Cristian? So you told us in a very nice story about how you set up Aggranda. Okay. Now, looking at how the world is changing, what's your vision for Aggranda going forward?
So definitely shifting from RPA to Agentic AI. I think it's exactly the moment that was when I started Aggranda. But now I think things are moving much faster than they moved with RPA because there are so many Agentic AI platforms and things like that. So shifting to more and more to AI, but try to focus only on those 5% of the successful projects.
nice. Have you decided a agentic platform to use?
We test mainly the UiPath one, and also some more, but yeah.
Anything interesting that you can share?
I think UiPath platform is pretty good. Yeah, they have a lot of experience behind, and I think it's very powerful.
If you would be discussing with Dinesh right now and you will ask him to improve one thing on their agentic platform, what would be that thing?
Okay, that's a good one. Maybe it will be technical features or something like that. But
a technical feature in particular?
Okay, I never thought about that. I don't think I know exactly one thing because the usability is pretty okay. We didn't see a lot of bugs.
Is it open for it's open market solution or is it still closed in beta or something like this?
Yeah, it's open. You can play with it.
I know that UiPath is pretty expensive overall.
Yes.
How expensive is this platform?
It's the same.
It's the same.
That's one thing that I would tell actually Daniel about the pricing.
Okay,
but
because the competition is very strong right now and it's much lower tier.
Yes.
So I have a challenge for you both. Yeah. So
I'm curious.
You guys are in an area related to AI, and when you talk, you talk about some of the languages that you're using. So AI, agentic, all the kind of things and the platforms. So maybe in the big number of people that are watching, they're sort of an owner of a business, and say, okay, so technically for my business, what do I mean that Aggranda moves to that? So how can I use them? What do they exactly do? So what's my problem that I should come and say, hey, I have a problem? So can we put it in a little more
Specific
Yes.
context.
So I mean, shifting from rule-based processes that were rule-based, if this do this, if this do this, to processes that are based on intent, like we were saying the previous example. So we automate processes. I mean, what RPA is doing, think about like RPA is the body of a human, and it has hands and the legs, and it goes where the brain tells to go. And now with AI and agentic AI, you have actually the brain that tells and controls the body.
If you can give me an example of processes from different activities. I don't know, if I have a logistic company, if I have a call center, so what kind of processes would go into that? If you can just make it a little more tangible.
Sure. So for example, analyzing the feedback for the customers that you have. We have a client where we processed, I think around 60 or 70K of feedbacks coming through different channels, offline, via email, phone, and so on. And we analyze every single feedback, and we understand what that feedback says. And based on that, we can categorize in about 30 or 40 categories and subcategories. And also it can tell you if you don't have a category for that feedback, or also it can tell you that you should do something. For example, imagine that you are working in retail and you have 100 feedbacks that say, okay, the last time when I went to this shop, I found it dirty. Yeah. And when you have something like that, you have immediate feedback. You can analyze and you can, announce the PM from that shop. And yeah.
Okay.
How was the problem expressed in the client's words before being transformed into a solution?
Yeah, they had one person doing this almost full time. Yes, almost full time.
Okay.
That was pretty easy, and it was okay. Can you do that? What would the accuracy be? And we had some questions like that. And when we did the pilot project without training the model, we had, I think, 90 or 95 accuracy, which was like really high. Now it's 99 point something.
You are using a local model or
no?
A deployed?
Not
or
deployed.
It's a cloud
Yeah,
model?
cloud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's a good example because I think the challenge at the moment with LLMs, I'm sure that in the future this will be changed, but at the moment is the more information you give, the higher risks to hallucinate. It's a term that is being used, are. And for this is like, okay, you give the feedback from the client, okay, analyze this feedback.
And it's a very short.
Exactly.
So this is
and you
why the
repeat
accuracy is
yes,
good.
exactly, yeah.
Do you also have an example to answer my question?
A construction company that needed to that had two people that were doing invoice approvals, and which became a very big pain because they needed to go back to contracts. Contracts are not in the most standardized fashion. It need to connect back to expedition slips that were because the materials were received on the construction yard, and all of these needed to be taken under consideration in order to get an approval for payment on the invoice. And this was done mainly with large language models, and not necessarily an automation in itself. It's more a decision process.
Yeah. But a good example with invoices is that now you can understand not only the content of the invoice, but also what that content means. For example, you understand that this is the company name, this is the total amount, this is a product that it was sold. This was a part of the product. This is the price for this part of the product. This is the address and everything. When before this, you needed to map it manually.
Exactly.
Because
At least to
OCR
standardize
exactly.
very heavily
Yeah.
and normalize namings of
Yes.
products in order to be able to do that, which is unsustainable in reality.
Yes.
Yeah, because we are human, not
Yes.
machines.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you feel the people that are working for Aggranda feel about the change? How do you see them in this change curve? Because I'm assuming that, well, I was playing with this tool right now, going back to your initial, I'm comfortable with it. So moving to something else, how do you assess that?
Our people are, I think, they like technology and they like new technology and they don't fear change that much, I would say, or that's what I hope. At least. But no, really. I mean, imagine that a programmer can program in 7 different programming languages. They don't have a big issue with that. When the challenge is actually in the companies where we automate, the fear of change is pretty high. I remember that we were talking in the very early beginning with an accounting company, and we are trying to automate the process there. And one of the employees said, no, I can do faster than the robot. Yes.
Okay, before the POC or after the POC?
After, because
After the
yes,
POC,
yes.
okay, good. So
And
courageous.
yes, but it made sense because that person was for a very long time in the company, and it knew all the shortcuts,
Yeah.
and it was doing like this.
Yeah, but do you want to do that
No,
10 hours per day
Yes.
at that speed?
Yes. I think
Yeah.
some.
No, I also saw that in the team we have Parolescu, which is a RPA that actually puts passwords on the Parolescu puts passwords because of the bloody very useful GDPR legislation. And I was asking, so how does it go? And somebody said, well, I think we prefer do it by ourselves. And I'm like, why? Because I have to find it then where it's saved, and it doesn't actually go to that. And I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of like unuseful activity. I mean, you're not doing something else. Yeah, but I think it's better like that, because I'm more comfortable exactly around that.
Yes, that's a challenge.
Yeah, I'm looking also at the challenges from my point of view, and I'm working closely with developers, and what I see is that there are some instances where it's a higher resistance than a lower resistance to change. Yeah, and what I think is the cause, it's related to the fact that if you are very good at what you are doing and you are very fast, very efficient, if something changes and you need to change the way you are doing, first you need to decide to do it slower, much more uncomfortable for a while, before getting the benefit of being 10 times quicker or 5 times quicker or 2 times quicker. And this is a discomfort that when you first try, you say, I'm 2 times slower and it's sloppy. And this is the conclusion that you can draw. And I think this is one of the reasons why you see adoption by juniors much bigger than with seniors. And I don't know if this is valid only for developers. I think it's valid for...
Yeah, it's valid for almost anywhere.
For almost anywhere.
Yeah.
Because we are open to new.
We were having a debate in our one-to-one episode.
I don't remember a debate with you.
A discussion.
Yeah,
a discussion. And it was more related to the CEOs, so the executives. And I'm curious how your experience is in terms of how do you see executives driving the agenda of AI in their companies?
I think there is a lot of willness from the C-level because, like I said, it's a lot of buzz and a lot of hype in this area. But the main blockers, I think, are the ones that we discussed. The fear of change, the fear of getting out of the comfort zone. I think those are the main blockers usually. But the C-level, they want to try and they want to test it. And they assume that it can fail. It can happen.
I'm curious about the thing.
I told you
Sorry
this is
for
coming.
that. So right now, you've been with the automation wave from the beginning, yeah?
Yeah.
So right now, in the most willing to adopt clients of for your team, you have, let's say, a certain amount of processes that are automated, 5%, 10%,
Yeah.
whatever. And right now, we are looking at a new wave of adoption. In 10 years' time, how much do you think will be automated from the knowledge work?
The knowledge. What
Let's
do you
define
mean?
knowledge work, meaning processing information, either entering, either extracting insights, or transforming information.
I think most of it.
Most of it.
Yes. In 10 years from now, yeah. Because extracting information is easier and easier.
Yeah.
And before LLMs, we had this document understanding solutions that were pretty accurate, very accurate, I would say. I mean, it was a big jump from OCR, reading a document,
To layouts parsers.
exactly
first.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
And
to
now-
structuring.
Yes.
And now we are going
exactly.
to the next level.
Exactly. And now, like I said, you can understand what's on that paper. And we have actually a big project that we implemented for a client where we even read handwritten documents.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's
yeah.
it's working.
yes,
Really.
Yes, it works. And because of that, I think, yeah, we will see a lot of adoption. Because, yeah, the pricing will go lower in 10 years and everything will
Hopefully Dinesh will listen to you also. Now, considering we have shared beliefs, yeah, I believe also the same thing. Where do you see society being in 10 years? Considering that right now, in urban areas, I believe that more than 60% of people, it's conservative, are involved into knowledge work.
Are you talking in general or
I'm
specifically?
talking in general, yeah. So
I think people will adopt this easy, I think, and they will either adopt it or they will be forced to adopt it, if you ask me.
So the jobs will the knowledge work jobs will be automated mainly, yeah?
Yeah, but people will do something else for sure. I mean, if you look at the past 20 years, things
Changed
a
constantly.
lot. I mean, imagine that I think 20 years ago you were going to a bank and you were signing a paper
To make a payment.
to make payment or to get money. I mean, you were signing that you want $100, yeah, and the lady was giving you
The
the money. And then the ATM machines appear and all that job, I mean, the part of her job actually like disappeared. And after ATM machines, now you can transfer it like wire, instant, and you don't go to ATM, get the money and give it to someone. You just push a button and it goes. So in these examples, I think part of a lot of jobs don't really exist anymore. But those people are doing something
else.
Yeah. And people will do, something else for sure.
Yeah.
Listen to you, I don't know why my memory went, my brain went to, when we had in Bucharest on the National Theatre, the bar upstairs, what was the
I
name
think it's
of
still
that?
there.
No, it's changed, but
Leptăria
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 There was this lady
Yeah.
who was like sitting in the elevator, pushing for the button. I wonder
Yeah.
what she's doing now. But anyway,
Unfortunately, you can still see that job in
Really?
hospitals. Yes.
in hospitals.
Man,
Yes.
talking about
I was
efficiency.
shocked, yes. I think there is a reason for that. I was shocked when I was in a hospital and I've seen that. It was like, no way. But I think the reason is actually to help people that have
Cannot.
problems. But I think it's not the
Not the most
right
efficient way of addressing the
it's not-
problem.
Exactly. It's not the right way to solve that process. I mean, you cannot put a person pushing the buttons 99% of the time for people that actually can do. You should find a way to focus on that 1% of the time.
Who need help.
Exactly, yes.
Ah.
Or, for example, I know, have someone in the elevator only for surgery because, I don't know, the doctors cannot touch
it.
I think.
I don't think they are allowed to go into the elevator.
Or, exactly. Yeah, but for people that go to visit or to have to solve a problem, I mean, it's but unfortunately we still can see that.
You can broke that elevator. Who's gonna pay for that?
Yeah.
Oh wait, us. Yeah.
You touched it with your own finger.
Exactly. Going back to future. Yeah. If you look at the people that today have children, and they talk about, what kind of career should I get my child towards? Because in the past we were also discussing engineer or lawyer or
accountant 20 years ago.
What would be your answer to someone who's asked you? So now you're in this world. Where should I get my child towards?
Yeah. I don't have children yet, but it's a tough question. I think it would be more related on focus on problem solving and understanding the problem and try to find solution, no matter how you find the solution. Either it's with AI or asking people or going to do something physically. Try to focus on how you find a solution. I'm not sure what you should learn in order to do that, but that's what I would focus on. Try to make them, be very, very curious and try to find solution on everything. Because I remember when I was in school and I was forced to memorize a lot of pages, like
commentaries,
yeah, word by word.
I remember the time.
Exactly. So it was insane at that period of time. Now
as insane as pushing the button on the elevator.
I would say this is
more insane.
More insane. But on that, that was the way that people were learning, and I think maybe 50 years ago that was the way that they learn, and but now you don't actually need to learn and memorize a page. You actually need to understand the idea from that page and to maybe remember the idea from that page, and that can very easily be done with ChatGPT.
But at the same time, right now in Romania we have the biggest amount of functional analphabetism that we had in ages. I don't think it's AI driven.
No,
but I don't think that AI will help as well.
Unfortunately, I think with AI that will be even higher, because now it's very easy to use
rely.
AI. Exactly.
To outsource. In fact, we are outsourcing thought.
Yes. Yeah. Something like that.
We all outsourced the map finding at some point.
Yes.
When we chosen
that's the thing that I was thinking
right now.
Yes, exactly.
It's outsourced telepathy.
Yes.
You guys scare me. I got one more question before we go towards the end, and this is for both of you. So, when you look at Romania, the buzzword is AI. But what about, how do you see Romania in the landscape of AI? Do you see any strategy? Do you see any direction that Romania takes proactively in that? Any opportunities that you guys see?
Very good question, but short answer.
I think we have the same.
Yeah, so please.
I don't see a strategy, but I see a huge opportunity. So I don't think it's a country strategy in this, but I think it's a huge opportunity, because we have a lot of talent here. We have a lot of Romanian people that are now working from abroad on very high positions, C-level positions, on large enterprises, and usually they still tend to help,
gravitate towards Romania.
Exactly.
In a way.
Yes, in a way. Even if they are not moving back to Romania, they help Romanians when they interact with them. So I think it's a huge opportunity for Romania.
Now, at the same time, I have a slightly different point of view, and I'm curious about something. So, I think that in the short term, we have a far bigger problem than opportunity. And that is because we have a lot of knowledge work that today is outsourced to Romania. Even if you are talking call centers, development, accountancy, we have a lot of work like this that is outsourced. And the first thing that will happen is either entrepreneurs here who are doing this work will decide to reinvent their business and burn their current pricing strategy, like what Google is doing by adding the snippet with found by AI and interpreted by AI, which is hurting a lot their AdWords business.
Yes.
Yeah, but this is their price that they need to pay in order to survive. And but I don't think that very few Romanian entrepreneurs are prepared to burn the bridges in time.
Yeah.
Like I have a company, let's call it, put it under brackets, yeah? So I have a company that is doing call center operations, yeah?
Okay.
And I'm generating 3 million euros. And right now, if I'm applying artificial intelligence as I could do, I could sell the same services with 300K. Yeah, I could sell and make also profits. Not necessarily similar, but almost there. But I could beat almost all in price. Yeah, like artificial intelligence governed by people. Now, in 1 year, 2 years, this will become a standard, and you will be a business that is losing that war. Yeah, but today you will need to drop your pricing and adopt new methodology. But we will not do that because it's cozy and it's okay still.
And it's I don't think we have a lot of let's say visionary entrepreneurs yet. We don't have sufficient ones because like you said, it's in Romania IT is a lot of it's a lot about outsourcing, and I think that helped a lot, and it still helps a lot because a lot of this, let's say, basic know-how is here. I mean, but people that were doing, for example, that they were working in call centers, they were like, unfortunately, like robots. I mean, they were following some scripts, and if the client is asking me this, I will tell this and things like that. But these things are, I think, they are changing and improving based on the fact that I've met a lot of Romanians working on super high positions outside of Romania that are.
So the opportunity, you see it coming from abroad to Romania in this fashion.
Yes, I think that's my opinion.
Okay.
And there are so many. Imagine that Databricks was founded by two Romanians as well. They were co-founders. Daniel Dines is Romanian, and I mean, beside the fact that he built something extraordinary, he helped a lot of people to grow, and to build a product, not outsource. So having these examples, and there are so many more. I mean, there are a few, but there will be more and more.
More and more.
Yeah.
But curious, because I have two of the visionary CEOs in Romania about AI on the table. So what's
near the table,
on the table? Sorry, guys. With me
at the table.
At the table. I have two of the most visionary CEOs about AI in Romania at the table. So what's missing? What's one thing that can be done to actually make a progress on that in Romania?
I can tell you what I think I'm missing. Yeah, I think I'm missing sufficient courage.
Yes, I agree with that. Courage and be brave. But I think the progress is here. I'm not sure what progress you expect to be in Romania, but I think we see progress almost every day. I mean,
what I don't see or hear that much is that actually you believe that that's an opportunity. You believe that it's opportunity. I think if you ask some other people, believe that there's opportunity around it. However, you don't see some concrete direction of travel in terms of like we want to be, I don't know, the hub of European Union in terms of that.
Politics now.
Yes,
yes, exactly. But I'll not go into that.
So that's the challenge.
I have UiPath. It took 10 years until
Exactly.
it became visible.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like until you'd have only one, a little bit of visibility.
Mhm.
So I'm going. Do you have any more curiosity before I
No.
go to my last
I have,
very
a lot
fun
of
question?
I have a lot of other curiosities, but it's okay.
Good. Our podcast tradition is that at the end we have a question that we ask all our guests. It's an easy one.
Okay.
One thing you automated for your personal life.
Oh, for my personal life. I think when you asked me that, I realized that I focus too much on my professional life that I didn't automate a lot for my personal life. Maybe some insights from the emails are not from personal life. I don't think I have something automated for my
You're not alone, just because
Yeah.
we asked some other people, just for you to know.
I
But-
had responded exactly the same way. Yeah, exactly the same way.
And I think you have
Last
the
time.
same face, like
Exactly like that. I realized exactly the same thing.
No,
that
for
I've
personal.
automated so many things in my professional lives, but in professional life, but in my personal life, I didn't.
But I think one thing that it's very hard to automate is human contact, and that's something that stays with us. And that's in my personal life. I think I try to focus more and more on that, and try to stay away from the phone and technology. And maybe that's a reason why I couldn't find something to automate. Because to be honest, I mean, there are days when I leave the phone at home, especially because I don't want to look at the phone, and I want to stay with the people that I am with, and I want to, I don't know, look at the sky or the nature and things like that. So maybe that's one reason that I didn't automate something from my personal life.
Okay. Cristian, thank you very much for joining us and sharing the story.
Thank you.
Good luck with the transition.
Thank you.
And thanks for listening. And in case you like it, don't forget to press like, subscribe, follow, or share with your beloved friends, or not belonging.
Thank you for the
Thank you very
invitation.
much.